All right, everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm doing another recipe today, obviously. And what we're doing today, if you haven't guessed already, is I am going to do some mashed potatoes. Now, I know what you're saying. Mashed potatoes, been done 1,000 times, blah, blah, blah. You're right. They have been done 1,000 times. But I'm going to show you how to do them two ways. And one way is when I was a young person and the way my mom used to do them. And then I'm going to do more of an elegant potato over here. And we're going to use a little different method. So let me explain what I got going on here first. Both sets of potatoes are 3 pounds. So we're doing 3 pounds of russet potatoes, and we're doing 3 pounds of Yukon Gold potatoes. Okay, the russet potatoes are going to wind up being just maybe a little bit more fluffier. The Yukon Gold potatoes, the more so-called elegant potatoes, are going to be more creamier. Okay, sometimes you say, oh, if you just add milk, they'll become more creamier. Not necessarily true. I'm going to show you guys how to do this. Okay, so 3 pounds of russet, 3 pounds of Yukon Gold, and we have I have a little bit of butter here. We got 2 pounds of butter, 1 pound of butter in each ramekin. We have a little bit of milk for the russet potatoes, salt, pepper, a little bit of parsley for garnish. I do have an offset spatula here because of the bowl that I'm going to use and how I'm actually going to spread these out for, more presentation. I don't care if you're serving a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I always believe make your food look good. It's kind of tastier, right? It's like when mom used to make your food, it tastes better because she made it. Same thing. I always try to plate whatever it is I'm doing presentable, at least somewhat presentable. And we have 3 cloves of garlic. So the Yukon Gold potatoes are going to be garlic mashed potatoes. Over here, what I have is I have a ricer. I don't know if maybe some of y'all don't know what this is, but you put the potatoes in here and you pull down on this and the potatoes come out all these little holes. Okay, so that's a big plus for these Yukon Golds. And over here I just have a fine mesh strainer. Okay, that's it. That's what we're going to use. It's not about adding all kinds of stuff. Now, I've done bacon and garlic mashed potatoes. I've done potatoes 100 ways, probably like you guys have. But we're going to keep this simple. These are good for really any day of the week. Holidays, you can do these potatoes if you want to. I also have a recipe that I did for Italian roasted corn also on my website. So if you all are looking for something for like Thanksgiving or Christmas coming up, check that video out. Okay, before we get started, if you guys like this video, throw a thumbs up for me. Please subscribe if you stop in and check these out more than once. Hit the subscribe button for me. Subscribers are always great. And ring that notification bell. Okay, I'm going to take these potatoes over to the sink. I'm going to peel them with just a regular vegetable peeler. And we're going to cut these up and cube these up. It is important that you keep the potatoes about the same size. So you see I got 3 big potatoes here and 1 small one. So we'll take the small one, we'll like cut it in quarters or maybe like in a third, and then we'll follow suit with the rest of these just to keep them in order, that's all. Same thing with the russet potatoes. Okay, I'll be back with you guys in just a second. I'm going to clear some of this away and get going across the kitchen. Okay, be right back in a couple seconds. All right, so I got my russet potatoes. They're basically I just put them in a saucepan with some water so they don't discolorate. I did wash them. I'm not going to keep them in there for too long because I don't want to get them waterlogged either. Okay, so I just want to show you guys super quick. Let's grab a knife. How I cut my potatoes. As far as, the size of them, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Now, you don't want to see, this is about how I cut them, okay? And you can cut them any way you want to. This side here, probably cut them in 3s, just like that. It doesn't take hardly but a minute to go through all of these potatoes, okay? So maybe cut them in 3s, average size potatoes. Probably be good. Probably take like 40, I don't know, half hour, 35 minutes to boil these. So, you know, they're going to take a little bit of time. You're going to do these until they're fork tender. You're not going to overcook these, okay? Very important that you don't overcook these, because you don't want these to turn to kind of like a mush, right? You want some firmness to them, but you want to make sure that they're also you know, cooked all the way through, right? Okay, so this is a little bit bigger, so we'll cut this one, we'll cut that one in 4. Same thing with this one, just like that. Okay, so as you can see, it doesn't really take too long to cut up your potatoes. You can usually wipe out a 5-pound bag. This is 3 pounds, like I said, but you can wipe out a 5-pound bag in probably, I don't know, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, something like that. This one here, I'm just going to cut in half, just because of the size of it. Okay, so now I'm not going to show you the Yukon Gold ones. We're only going to do these here. Okay, so we're going to throw these back. We're going to throw these back in the water, and then what we're going to do is we're going to take them over to the sink now that we opened them up, because now what it's going to do is it's going to release all the starch, right? So we're going to get rid of some of that starch. That's what we're going to do. So we're going to rinse these probably 3, I don't know, maybe 3 times. Okay, hey, I'll see you over at the sink in just a sec. Okay, so I just want to show you what I'm talking about. So here's the potatoes that I just cut up, and you can see how murky they are, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to rinse these with cold water. And you'll see those. I did this in another video too. I think when I did some home fries for breakfast, and I showed you the same way. I do this to all my potatoes. I try to remove as much starch as I can out of them, right? So we just kind of swish them around a little bit, right? Just like this. And we do this until the water runs clear, right? So if you see, it's murky again. You see that? So that's no good. We want to dump it again, just like that. And we're going to put some more water in them. It takes 2-3 times maybe. Sometimes you get them in 3 times. This could be the last time, and then we'll fill it back up. Let's see, it's becoming clearer now. Okay. Just move them around a little bit. Right, see, it's a little murky. Not bad. But the next time, this time here will be the one where all the starch, most of the starch will be out of them. You know, it's just something that I do. You know, so anyways, I don't think I explained it, but russet potatoes, they do have a high starch content in them. So a lot of people say that you shouldn't take a mixer, a stand mixer, beaters, or anything like that. Now, because these are the russet potatoes, these are going to be like the old-fashioned potatoes, right? These are going to be the ones that, you know, like my mom made back in the day, back in the 70s. Okay, so we're going to carbon copy those, all right? Because they say if you beat up the starch too much, they become like gummy and sticky, right? But I'm going to do it anyways, because that's what I grew up on, and that's the whole idea of this. And there is going to be a difference between these potatoes and the Yukon Gold ones, the more kind of elegant potato, when I'm done with them. You'll see. So just to keep that in mind, once you start hitting the starch content in these and start really beating them up, they do become like gummy and maybe a little tacky. But, you know, we've been making potatoes like that for years, right? Okay. So now you can see how nice and clear? That's what we're going to go for. Okay, so these are done. I'm going to get on with the Yukon Gold potatoes, and I'm going to bring these over to the stove, boil these for, you know, until fork tender, probably about 30 minutes or something like that. and then I'll come back with you and I'll show you what I'm going to do with them after that. Okay, it's going to be probably 45-50 minutes for me. It's going to be snap of a finger for you. Okay, so I'm back with you guys for just 1 second. Just something I forgot to tell you guys. What I usually do is I don't fill the pot all the way up with water. That's number one. You can see where the water line is, right? It's just over the potatoes. If you guys can make that out, right? All right, so the other thing is don't put your potatoes, I know most people probably know this, but I just want to reiterate this here. Don't put your potatoes into hot water. Tap water, then heat it, okay? And there's no need to boil these at a rapid boil, all right? Now, the reason why you don't turn around and have hot water and put your potatoes in them is because the outside is going to cook before the inside is done, okay? Very important that you don't do that. The other thing that's important as far as rapid boiling these, it's going to do the same exact thing, trust me. The outside is going to get done before the inside is. So a nice low simmer, if it takes a little extra time, believe me, it's going to be worth it in the end. All right. And we also cut them in big chunks like you see here. There's the russets and here's the Yukon golds. You can see a difference in color. Actually, the Yukon golds are a little bit more like a buttery look. And we cut them in bigger pieces like this instead of really small, because this way it won't absorb the water content as fast, right? So we don't want to waterlog our potatoes. So, okay, so there's a couple things that I just wanted to let you guys know. You know, that's what my channel's about, is to try to give you a little bit of information as we go along. Okay, the next time you'll see me is when these potatoes are done and we actually put these together. So nice low heat, nice low simmer, and I'll see you guys after these potatoes are done. We'll put this all together. Okay, so obviously you can hear that the heat is on, see that the heat is on. The one thing that I forgot to do with the Yukon Golds is this is what we're going to do. I told you that they were going to be garlic mashed potatoes. Look. Okay, we're just going to drop the garlic in. What this is going to do, this is going to poach that. And when I run this through the ricer, the garlic is going to be nice and soft along with the potatoes. It's going to be all one thing, right? Everything's going to be the same, right? So that's what we do. So just take your garlic, cut it up, just take the peel off of it and put them in whole. And that garlic will be done when these potatoes are done. So remember, if you're doing garlic mashed potatoes, this is how you do it. Okay, so I am back. The potatoes are done. The only thing I did was take them out and I drained them. I did drain them pretty good. Drain them for a few minutes or a couple minutes, whatever. And you should be fine with that. So we're going to start here with the russet potatoes, okay? These are potatoes, like I said, like how my mom used to make them years ago. So these are going to be like the old-fashioned potatoes that you used to have at like Thanksgiving or you know, just for any other meal, right? Okay. So everybody's going to need a regular mixer, okay? Even though people say you shouldn't beat the potatoes, like I said earlier, because of the starch content, they get kind of gummy and sticky. But listen, I grew up on these, so this is the way we're making the old-fashioned potatoes today, bottom line. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're just going to add a little bit of milk. Not much, not a whole bunch. We're going to do this as we go along, right? And we are going to add in some butter. Like I said, this is about a pound of butter here. I did not put it all in just then. There's a little bit left. And we're going to put, because we know we're going to need it, right? We're going to add a little salt, not too much, a little pepper, all right, just to get started. And we're going to do the mixer, okay? So this is going to be a little bit loud for you guys probably, but I'm going to start them out, and then I'll be back with you guys to show you what the end product looks like. Okay, so I am going to add a little bit more milk to these, just like that. And I'm going to continue mixing these, and I'll be back with you when these are done. Okay, let's give these a little bit of taste here for seasoning. Oh, fantastic. The only thing I do is buttery, you taste the salt, you taste the pepper. The only thing I did to these while I was gone was I did add a little bit more milk to it, a little bit more butter to it. So it's about 1 pound of butter, 3 pounds of potatoes. So at this point, what we're going to do, we're going to keep these hot until I'm ready to plate these. I know this is going to make my camera go crazy, but we're just going to take these now because it's in a metal bowl. These are going to stay really hot. Okay, I'll be right back with you to show you what I do with the Yukon Gold potatoes. I'll be right back. Okay, so now on to the Yukon Golds. I have them in my container here, ready to go. They're strained. I have my ricer handy with me. So I'm going to just take these off of the cutting board. Let's see. There we go. These bowls are absolutely fantastic. They seal wonderful. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to set these aside. We're going to bring another bowl in, okay? And how a ricer works, right? This is what a ricer is. This flips open. You have a little compartment here. And the only thing that we do, I just want to show you too, right here is your garlic. You're going to put that right in. Okay. So we just fill this up. Just like that. Okay, and then when you push this over, watch what happens. See? Just like that. And that's what a ricer does. It gives you a real smooth potato. Okay, so we're just going to keep doing this until there's no more potatoes left. All right, so I'm going to do this. I'm going to finish up these potatoes, and as soon as I'm done ricing these potatoes, I will come back with you guys and we'll show you the next step. The next step is the reason why these are super, super creamy. All right, stay tuned. We'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back with finishing ricing these potatoes. You can see how these are so fluffy. Okay, so now we have one more step to do. We're going to bring in a pot, and then we're also going to bring in our fine mesh strainer. Okay, this is important that this happens. Okay, so we're going to take your potatoes. We're going to take the potatoes, and what we're going to do is we're just going to push them through a strainer, just like this. Okay. Now you don't have to kill them. You don't have to beat them up. You just got to get them through. Okay, just like that. Okay, and then you can just take them right off the bottom of the strainer. Okay, just like that. So again, I'm going to finish up these potatoes, and I'll be right back with you guys. Okay, see you in a second. So now we're on to the next step. The next step, I put this through the ricer, and I also put this through a fine mesh screen, and that is how they came out. Okay, I don't know if you can see, but look how smooth they are. Okay, so now I'm going to start adding some ingredients, which this is going to be quite a bit of butter. We're going to do 1 pound to start with. Okay, and we're going to fold this in, right? We're not going to beat this up. We're going to go nice and easy with it. Just fold it in. And you'll see what the potatoes do after they get the butter in it. They loosen up a little bit, actually. Yeah, it's like silk. I don't know if you can look at that, right? Okay, so we're just gonna keep mixing until we get all this butter melted. Go, don't go hard with it. Just keep mixing it, keep folding it. Nice and easy. Nice and easy. And you're gonna see these are gonna be so creamy and so oh. If you can feel what the spatula feels, look at, see, look, yeah, it's gonna be phenomenal. Okay, so we're gonna keep going. So 1 pound of butter to 3 pounds of potatoes. That was 3 pounds unpeeled, right? Okay. Just keep folding it till all the butter is gone. And then we're actually gonna use this bowl to serve and to so-called plate. Look there. Just see how creamy. Look at, see? Beautiful. This is beautiful. Okay, so now what we're gonna do, because I know we're gonna need it, we're gonna add a little salt. We are gonna add a little pepper to it. Okay. Don't rush these. Make these. Some people might want to use white pepper. I actually like with little dark spots in the mashed potatoes. I think it looks good. So if this is something that you would get in a restaurant, okay, this is exactly how they make, if they have enough time to do this. So, it might not be, okay, so let's get a spoon or a fork. Okay, need a little bit more salt. I think the pepper's good, but gotta do more salt. Okay, take another taste. Yeah, that's phenomenal. Very good. Okay, so, and the garlic just blends in here with everything. It's not overpowering. It's kind of like, it's in the back of everything. Remember, we didn't use any milk on this, right? No milk. Okay, so let me get straightened up here. Let me wipe my bowl down. Let me get my other platter out for the other potatoes, and we're gonna plate these up. I mean, seriously, you can't get any better than that. All right, hang out with me for a second. We'll be right back. Okay, first things first, we are gonna plate the old-fashioned potatoes, the potatoes that I grew up on, that my mom actually used to make. Okay, so we're gonna plate this up a little bit. And these are fluffy. They're totally two different. These are totally two different mashed potatoes. And if you make them both, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about if you do these. Okay. Okay, so there's the homemade. I'm gonna put just a little dab of butter on this, like that. Let that melt in. Another little dab down here. Okay, and then what we're gonna do is we're just gonna take a little garnish, just like this. This is extra. This is just for plating purposes. My mom did not do that. Okay, so now let's bring these back in. Okay, so I said I needed an offset spatula, which I do. And the reason for that is for this right here, what I'm about to do. So we're just going to get it, okay, just like this. It's almost like doing drywall, right? So if you serve this at a party, I'm going to think you're going to get some compliments. This is good stuff here, okay? Okay, just like this. Like I said before, I don't care what I'm plating. You do try to make it. You do try to make it the best that you can, because again, you kind of eat with your eyes a little bit, right? Okay, look at that. Okay, so we're gonna do that. We're gonna get a little towel here. We're gonna clean up our mess. Okay, just like that. And then this one here gets maybe not a whole bunch of garnish, but maybe just a little, just to make it look pretty. Okay, so here we go. This is the recipe. I got old-fashioned mashed potatoes here that my mom used to make. These are absolutely delicious. Make these if you get a chance to. The butter's starting to melt there now. And we have garlic mashed potatoes that have been ran through a ricer. Look at how smooth. Look at that, right? It almost looks like paste of some sort. Okay, so these are the garlic mashed potatoes. They taste absolutely phenomenal. There's that, and then here's the old-fashioned mashed potatoes as well. Okay, guys, that is 2 recipes that you can make these at any time. Urge you to make them both. They're both fantastic. One's not taken away from the other. All right, hey, if you guys like this video, put a thumbs up for me, hit that subscribe button. We could use a little bit more subscribers, and ring that notification bell. You'll get a recipe like this every single week, okay? Having said that, thanks for tuning in. I hope you guys stay to the end of the video to see what the end result is, and I will catch you in the next video. Okay, everybody, have a great day.